level, girls racing international already. So it is an experienced field, certainly at this time.
Carrie, what are they thinking about right now?
Oh, they're just so ready for that gun to go off. You know, it's so nerve-wracking up until that point. I mean, even during the race, you know, you try not to think so much. You know your strategy, you've been visualizing. And so I think right now they just want to get their toe on that line and hear the gun go off.
They've been shaking their legs out, doing some pre-race traditions, and a few of them talking to each other. A lot of them, it seems like they're just getting in that zone.
They really are. It is a course that's demanding. They've got to be ready for the challenges of. It's a true cross-country course. I think Solomon Carter said it well. You know, if you're a track runner, this isn't for you. You got to be a cross-country runner here.
Well, the course is looking pretty green in front of us, I'll tell you that.
It looks beautiful, and it's a beautiful day. I went for a quick run this morning just because I couldn't take it anymore. I wanted to feel like my old self, and, you know, they're going to have a beautiful day out here to race, and they will never forget this moment.
Okay. In terms of the start, how important is this to getting off on the right foot for many of them?
I think it's good to get out. You have to get out, and you really see the history of this course and this race. The people that are up front really are the ones that stay up there. So they have to get out, but they have to stay within themselves to tackle that second lap.
Well, they aren't runners who are used to being behind, that's for sure.
That's right.
Not only being behind, but not being around a lot of people. That's what's interesting. All of a sudden, you find yourself right with them.
Let's go down to the field.
On your mark.
Here we go. The 2019 Foot Locker Girls National Championship race. And right to the front, Carrie, you said it's important to get out well. Mia Barnett, the West Regional Champion in that light green out well. Kaitlyn Hart, we said there's a few things you can count on, and one of them will be that Kaitlyn Hart will go right up there and will push that pace.
You know, Kaitlyn Hart has been second here 2 years in a row, and in very powerful races. I mean, she is one heck of an athlete. You said it on the way over here, Tim. She runs on the track and she breaks 10 minutes almost every single time she runs that 3,200. And I just believe that she is somebody that likes to be in command. And I kind of like to race like that too, that she's comfortable up there and she feels good up there.
You know, Stephen, you asked about the course. It is pretty open. There isn't a real sharp turn here until we get past the first quarter mile. A little bit of a downhill start here. Go for about a quarter mile. If you're new, the first time you've seen this course, it's downhill for the first quarter. They make a big U-turn in what's called the Dog Park Loop. Then they'll make a long stretch, a slight uphill. We'll get our half-mile split, and then we'll head over to the other half of the course. We'll go that's kind of uphill and downhill, then to the big hill, and then we'll come back and do it all again. So, Carrie, we talked about it's a great cross-country course, and we said if it goes out fast, we're going to have a great time, and it is going out fast.
Yeah, you've been talking about a lot of these young athletes that are running under 17 minutes, and we could have quite a few today if they do kind of keep that pressure on. But there's a lot of athletes that are very good over the 800 meters in this race. There's such a wide range, and you know, you have to keep that in mind. If there's an athlete that has a 2:10 or has a 2:12 800-meter time, they are very good sprinters too. So you have to keep in mind that, yes, you want to go out hard, but you have to have a little something to be able to kick off that downhill.
And that looks like Graham taking that pace out very quickly here from the south. We do have that competition between the regions here, and as we can see, the Northeast going out very quickly also as a group. But this is going to be a very fast first 800 here. Kaitlyn Hart right up in it, led it through the first 800 last year, and is right there with our leaders as they come up through. So we're heading to the half mile here, coming up the road here. Hart coming out to the lead here. She was 2:33 last year right at the Hart. But Bethany Graham from the south, very excited, has moved out very quickly, pushing that pace. And we're coming up, we'll get a half mile split. As we mentioned, Hart 2:33 last year at the half. Oh my gosh, 2:26? 2:26 at the first 800. So last year, a record pace, and we are 7-8 seconds faster than that. Carrie, this has gone out fast.
Well, last year we did have a little bit of a rain the first night in town on Friday night, so actually Thursday night. So the course might have been a little bit slower, but they are going hard. You know, all of these athletes know how fast everyone is in the field. We've been talking a lot about times, but this is where Kaitlyn wants to be. Let's not forget to mention, though, that Sophia Dudek is in third right now. She's coming from Europe, where she ran in Portugal, and she's now running internationally. So she's used to this travel, and she's used to running with, you know, different people from all over the country. So she's right there in third, but all the big names that we've talked about in the pre-race year chatter are up front.
Yeah, we got Starlipper and Masharelli, our two big guns from the Northeast. They were faster than Hart was last year at 800, and they're running in 9 and 10 right now. So it is very fast. You got to believe that some of these girls, this is going to be a little bit too fast. Others, it's going to be the race of their life here. But it is Kaitlyn Hart. As we said, boy, oh boy, she does like to. She only knows one gear. She puts the hammer down and charges, and she is charging again.
Well, they just got a nice little boost here as they ran through the most crowded section in terms of spectators of the course, and now they're going downhill, getting ready for the second part of the course, Tim, which can be the most challenging.
You know, Stephen, that's a great point. You get such a huge crowd here as they come by. Everybody's so excited. And then this is the only part where they get a little bit away from the crowd. But boy, you got to believe that the Midwest girls have been talking, because they have gone out well. And right up front, we said the big four. Hart's up in there. Ewert's starting to move well right up on Dudek. And Vanderkoy, the sophomore, coming up, as we mentioned, the third fastest freshman ever on this course. And then Starlipper and Masharelli just a little bit back with a little bit different strategy. But you got to believe the Midwest girls, Carrie, maybe talking about this, that we're going to go out like this.
Well, last year I believe they had 20 points to take the team title, and they like having that team title. I know this is about individuals here, but when you get back to the Dell later on tonight and you talk about the team title, there's a lot of bragging rights that go with that as well.
All right, well, let's look at these markers as we go through, because this is a great benchmark. It was Kaitlyn last year who took that pace out, and she went through that first mile last year at 5:13 through that first mile, and we are already coming to the road, so we're going to be a little bit faster than that. Looks like 5:09 for the first mile. That is sub 17-minute pace. Only 7 girls have ever broken 17 minutes on this course. And so they are out at that pace, and there's Starlipper and Masharelli working a little bit together here in the blue. And so it'll be, can those Midwest girls hold that pace, and can the Northeast girls get up in it? They're making a move. This is a very steep hill, as we mentioned. The first part of it, about 120 meters, as you can see, very steep. Then they make a right turn, and then about another 200 meters as kind of a back and forth as a gradual upgrade. The whole hill itself, just about 340 meters from top to bottom, and then they'll fly very steep. Takes them about a minute and a half to get up and about 30 seconds to get down.
It's deceiving how steep that hill is. You really don't get a good picture of it, even with the video here. They are, but as I see them in person and you watch them wind around there, you get an idea of just how much of an uphill climb this is.
You know, Mark Watts, our East Bay representative that was here earlier, Randy yesterday, he said he had to walk that. We have to give Mark some props there, at least getting it out there. But I'm going up that course. Hart right up in there, so we're going Midwest, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hart, then Dudek. Vanderkoy moves up right there with Ewert. And then Hutchins still running very well, our sophomore from the south, trying to get up in it. Bethany Graham took that pace out early. Still, she's in the top 7. And moving up, Starlipper, Masharelli, Kate Weiser from Pomperog also. This is what we said about the steep downhill. You really got to know how to run downhill so it doesn't take too much out of you. We've seen some great runners. We remember Reed Brown a couple years ago out of Texas flying on this downhill. Was able to relax and still take the lead, but Kaitlyn Hart, this could be wire to wire. That's her goal here. The Midwest still 1, 2, 3, 4. They now just got about a quarter mile before they come back. Dudek, Ewert, and Vanderkoy running there in 1, 2, 3, 4. And Starlipper and Masharelli. Oh my gosh. We said there were 6 girls. There they are. There's the big 6. And they'll come across the road the first time we're on record pace. We could see sub 17. The conditions are perfect. My goodness, Carrie, this is really a move. We wondered, would somebody take it out? She has.
You know, I wasn't so convinced that she was going to lead hard like this. I thought she'd be up in the lead, but she is truly on a mission right now to put the hammer down, to run a little bit of the speed out of these ladies. You know, she is right now leading this race, and the 2 that I think she was probably most concerned about were the ones from the Northeast, Starlipper and Masharelli, and they are well behind her, but they have each other to work with each other to, you know, reel this in a little bit. And I think that's smart if they can do that. Think about each other, kind of take the pressure off themselves and think about that team aspect. But right now, Kaitlyn Hart looks great, just like she did last year.
Hart, Dudek. and Vanderkooi, Ewert. Here comes Starlipper, Masciarelli, and Hutchins. That's the top 7. To give you an idea in the split, Hart last year, 8 minutes at the road, 7:56 this time. So we're still 4 seconds ahead of that torrid pace from last year. This is certainly record pace, and any one of those 7 girls right there could be our 2019 national champion. This isn't going to be a race for the last mile and a half. This is going to be an endurance test. It's sort of like Prefontaine always used to say, I may not be the fastest, so I'm going to be the toughest. And you got to love Kaitlyn Hart. She runs like Steve Prefontaine. It's, I'm going to go. If you think you can go with me, but you're going to have to pay the price. And she is making people pay the price. By now, you would have thought somebody would have made that gap, huh, Carrie?
Well, Tim, what does she have to lose? She has been the runner-up here for 2 years. That forever is an amazing stat. And she can have that for the rest of her life. So why not go for the win, right? Like, for her, it only gets better if you get that win. So I think this is smart for her. She's so talented over all distances. She is a 2:10 800-meter runner. She's a 4:39 1600 meters. She's a 9:56 2-miler. Like, come on, she is so talented. And she's also a sub-17 5,000-meter runner. So Kaitlyn Hart knows how to run. Can she beat all these ladies? That's the big question, but she's going for it today.
Oh, my goodness. Let's kind of go through where we are. Hart's our leader. That's Dudek right there, just a couple of yards back, and Vanderkooi a little bit more. And Starlipper starting to move up there now. Starlipper moving up well. Looks like she has moved into 4th. Ewert into 5th. Masciarelli is in 6th, our defending champion. Hutchins, the sophomore from the south, in 7th. Graham, boy, she made that start. She's hanging tough there after almost 2 miles. She's still in 8th. And then Santos, the senior from Darby High School in Ohio, in 9th. And now, as you see, Dudek moving up on the shoulder of Hart. They came by 2 miles last year. Hart was still our leader at 10:50. This is where Masciarelli made her move and started to catch up. We'll get a 2-mile split in just a moment. But they're starting to separate a bit here. Starlipper's got a little work to do, huh?
I think it's great for Starlipper, though, to have these people to look at. One thing that we have to mention, though, Sophia Dudek, not a returner. She's our only one right now on the top that is not a returner, but she is the only one that's beat Kaitlyn Hart, or she beat her at the NXN regional race. So, you know, these two have a history, and they want to help each other, but they also want to beat each other.
You always hear about people talking about, you know, run your own race.
Yeah.
At what point do you have to start worrying about running somebody else's race if you want to get into that top position?
Well, right now, Kaitlyn Hart has been leading, and so for somebody to come up on your shoulder and actually be 1 step in front, she has to regroup. But check out these 2-mile times.
All right, so last year, to give you an idea, Hart, 10:50 at 2 miles. Dudek and Hart just came by at 10:43. We're not getting slower, we're getting faster here. Oh my gosh, that hill is going to be long the second time. Here they come. Oh my gosh, Starlipper closing the gap. We're gonna have 4 girls go across the road. We are set up for a great last mile. Dudek, Hart, Vanderkooi, Starlipper, Ewert in 5th, and Masciarelli trying to move up in there. But it is those 4 across the road. Any one of these could win the national championship. And Vanderkooi now moving up, not a senior, but experienced. And even though we said Dudek has not been here before, she's raced internationally. Just 5th in the under junior European championships just 2 weeks ago in Lisbon. So all these girls very experienced.
You know, one thing right now we have to keep in mind, Vanderkooi, only a sophomore. She was 3rd here last year, but she is very confident. She doesn't have as many track stats as the other girls, but she's only a sophomore. She's run 10:04 over 2 miles. She is very talented and has every right to be up front.
Oh my, Starlipper, the only lone athlete in the blue, has moved up very nicely here. Didn't have to make the big move, right up in it. That's Vanderkooi and Dudek running shoulder to shoulder. A step back, and you can see Starlipper, the only one in the blue, and Hart right there in that group. This will be the last really flat part that we get right here, about 250 meters till we get to the big hill. The hill is going to separate this race.
Starlipper not real thrilled with me reminding her that she was 13th for the past 2 years. She said, can we move on from that? I think she really is interested in the big the big one, you know, getting to the top of the podium today. And she's run a really smart race. You know, there's little things that you watch for an athlete when they're racing. She just wiped her sweat with her shirt right on her nose, and some people think that's silly for us commentators to talk about that. But that to me shows that she's in control. She's still able to think about what she's got going on. She can feel the sweat on her nose, so she's not so far into oxygen debt yet that she can't like quite feel what's going on around her or within her.
Very interesting point there. And for someone like myself who doesn't know anything about the ins and outs of racing and just wanted to see a good race, I'm sitting here with my popcorn ready to go.
Here we go, and here we go. This is the steep part of the hill here. This is going to be a very tough part for these girls, and that is Dudek taking lead, but Starlipper right on her shoulder, a little bit back, and Vanderkoy, and then Hart. But Dudek making the move, Starlipper right with her, and Vanderkoy is trying to stay within striking distance. Ewert still running in 5th, and Masciarelli still moving up. Heading up the hill to make the big turn here. Starlipper, oh, she may have measured this just right, Carrie. She's moving well.
She looks really strong. She's pumping her arms. Look at her knee drive. She's been excited to come back to this course. You know that she's been kind of haunted by that 13th place. It's a great place to be, but when you're a senior and you've been there twice, you want to get further up. And she knows she can win this race. This entire season, she's been on fire.
Oh, that's the last of the hill. They've crested the hill. It'll be the steep downhill, and when they get to the bottom, we'll have just about 450 meters to go to a national championship, and it is Starlipper who'll make the turn. Dudek in 2nd, Vanderkoy in 3rd, and they have separated and on the downhill. What a smart, tough race. Marley Starlipper, the senior, starting to move away. The Northern York High School senior moving from Pennsylvania when she gets to the bottom, 450 meters to go, and we are looking at sub 17. Only 7 girls have ever broken 17 minutes on this course, and we look like we're on pace to do it again, but Dudek not letting her go.
Dudek is strong. She has that speed as well, but I think Starlipper is so calm and collected right now. She's been smiling all weekend. She's been really excited. This is fun for her, and that's what you need to have. You need to have the excitement and the fun in order to run really well.
We've seen it before when they just think they have it. The 2nd or 3rd place runner makes a move, and Dudek has not let her go. Dudek still within 5 meters of it, and here she comes. Oh, my! Here we go, Sophia Dudek with a huge move. 350 meters to go, and we're still just making the turn. We saw this last year, though. We've seen girls come back even after they've been passed, and Starlipper staying close. We're going to have the last 165 meters that we all dreamed about. Here we go, and we are on pace for a great race. 3 miles, that's 16:12. That's 15 seconds faster than last year. Here we go, down the stretch. Dudek in the pink, Starlipper in the blue. Starlipper trying to come back. Sophia Dudek gonna try to hold that move. Here she comes, Marley Starlipper coming back. 100 meters to go. Dudek with another move. Sophia Dudek, she's pulling away. Oh my, Sophia Dudek will be the 2019 Foot Locker National Champion. 16:46. Oh my, Starlipper 16:48. Oh my, Dudek's official time 16:45. One of the greatest races in history. Outstanding. Vanderkoy 16:55. Oh my, Hart, a great race. She's gonna finish in 4th. Ewert and Hutchinson right there in 5 and 6. Masciarelli, a top 7 finish for her at 17:20. This is the fastest mass female race we've ever had in the Foot Locker National Championship. Oh my.
Tim, I had to get out of my seat there at that final there, because is it possible to want both of them to win? They were working so hard up the finish there.
You know, it is not in any way, shape, or form any kind of trying to make anybody feel good that they're all winners. Those 3 girls there, to break 17, that's phenomenal. That's the fastest mass finish in Foot Locker history.
And the crowd giving a lot of cheering and support to our final runners who have gutted it out here on this course today.
You know, Steve, when we talk about it, we're just at 18 minutes right now. You know, in almost every invitational you go to throughout the year, a girls' race to run right away around 18 minutes is going to win almost any invitational. But here, these girls are running great. And to hang in there off that pace, oh my. And that was a torrid pace all the way through. Kaitlyn Hart, you got to love her. Boy, did she go after it. She went hard. Puts it up, and they kept picking it up off that pace. That's what's even more amazing.
Yeah, it was like it went the distance in boxing terms, if we can pull it out from there. What I'm just always so enamored by is the fact that we have so many champions who come together, and when somebody's got to win, right? I mean.
Yeah, it is a shame. You're right. There can only be one national champion. Dudek is our national champion, but boy, oh boy. You just got to love these girls the way they ran together. So we look at our all-time list there. That is the 5th fastest in history. It's the fastest second-place finish. So that's number 5 and 6 all-time.